and getting himself going. We saw Central really going as well as kicking off here is Central FC.
The team manager is Norris Ferguson.
So we see the possession has changed to W.Connection now. And in W.Connection in their own right have young Jovian Jones, who is their leading goal scorer, if I'm not mistaken. And their talisman of the team, you know. So you're looking at two young guys going head to head at each other tonight. Plaza against Jones. And there's a cross from Marcano. Way off his mark.
Already very early on here, that seems to be good. Frederick down there. Got a bit of a knock earlier.
And he's taken down by a former W.Connection player, Akeem Benjamin. So
yeah, I think a lot of these players are going to be familiar with each other, former teammates, not just on the national team, but also in the Pro League and various teams.
And it's quite interesting as well that both teams are Central based, you know. So it seems that Central is almost the football capital of Trinidad right now, the way things are looking.
It's one of the few rivalries, and possibly the only true rivalry right now in the Pro League. We may say there's a rivalry in the Super League between Guaya and Club Sando, but
yeah.
Here in the Pro League, there aren't very many to speak of, but this one is really one brewing, not just because of geographical location, but these two teams are two of the better teams in professional football in Trinidad and Tobago today.
Yes, and the coaches as well have a history.
Indeed.
Again, the players as well, some have played on the other side and come across, you know.
Very
like John Michael, Akeem Benjamin, amongst others.
Very different coaching styles as you speak of the coaches, at least from the standpoint of us looking from this point, looking up here, down at them. Coach Terry Fenwick, well, everyone can hear to Coach Fenwick at the ground, and the total opposite for Coach Storchals Ferry, who you actually never hear.
Yeah, and he's actually seated right now.
He's seated for...
It's very rare he goes up to the touchline. Terry, he paces on the touchline, giving instructions to his team all through the game.
I think he spends 95 minutes at the line, or probably a bit more. He's actually there long before kickoff.
Very true. So we see a throw in.
Someone's out of touch in favor of...
It remains with Central's possession. We're seeing Plaza getting his touch on the ball right now.
Another thing with these two teams, though they are very young, rather they are very experienced as well. This isn't their first time meeting in a final. This surely won't be their last. And it seems as if every time we have a cup final in Trinidad and Tobago, it's either Central or Connection playing, or both playing against each other.
Very true. If I'm not mistaken, I think this season they said it's about 5 meetings. I think 2 Connections way, 2 Centrals way, and 1 draw or something like that. It's sort of a game that would break the odds. You know?
I remember the draw it had. It was a game in which Central was up 2-0 in 84 minutes into the game, and Connection scored.
Yes, scored 2 goals. yes.
A lot of people said that the referee, the fourth official, actually said 4 minutes of additional time, and it was into the 5th minute that the final goal was scored in the 95th, actually.
Very true.
So, a lot of history between these two teams.
Right, and then we're seeing another former national defender, Daniel Cyrus, with possession right now. Connection is known for their passing game, and there's the young Russell, the Surinamese, exciting player. Free kick is taken quickly by Gerald Williams. Played back to Gerald Williams, center of the park, passing it to Jamal Bibo Williams, who plays the ball square, but it's cut off by Elton John, who plays it wide to Goodrich. And he lobs the ball forward for Winchester. Probably, arguably the fastest player in the league right now. It would be interesting to see if we could have a matchup of sprinters in the league. I think Winchester would be the guy on the forefront.
Neil Benjamin for W.Connection will also be in that race. But it's amazing with his length, and that's why I think he's probably prototypically one of the best strikers in the game, because of with his length, his quickness, his strength, his athletic ability on a whole. Winchester is possibly the total package. Maybe needs to develop his right foot a bit more.
He does. I would agree there.
In the stands, the
and we
white
see
seats
Elton
in the
John
stands, they
heading the
come
ball
to the
forward.
VIP area.
Elton
With
happens
your
to be the
Lucozade, you
defender
can
that I have
qualify
said
at
has
$25
improved the
at
most in this
halftime.
league right now. He's always a good player. And there we see Willis Plaza attacking the ball. And the ball is played out.
We spent so much time speaking of Willis, we've neglected to speak of the impact that Jason McCarno has for Central as well.
He does. And he's a guy, he's a seasoned Pro League player. And Jason has probably been in the Pro League probably 9 to almost 10 seasons now, you know. He's one of the foundation members of the Pro League, one of the youngest guys in the Pro League when it started. And today, you know, having conversations with him over the past few weeks, you know, he's saying he's very settled right now and just enjoying his football. The ball is played forward, and we see the captain Marvin Oliver wearing the captain's armband tonight. 38-year-old veteran, still
38
playing.
years young.
Yes. But, you know, a very important figure for Central FC. There's a Tulagera.
Yes, that's player. Speaking of Jovan Jones, getting Neil Benjamin.
Neil
Benjamin,
yes.
bit too quick there probably for his own good.
But again, another very fast player. So we see now we have, and I think he's what, 20 years old?
Yes, Neil is actually, yes, he's 20.
Yes, and Winchester is 19 or 20 years old as well. So we're seeing two young guys, very quick on the ball and off the ball. And it's played to Marcano, gets a head on it.
Still early on in this one, and we've already seen quite a large crowd here by Pro League standards, possibly the biggest crowd I've seen for any final this year. Being played in Central,
Yes, that's
with
very
two
true.
Central teams. And especially with a bit of a rivalry we're seeing this season, I guess the supporters are coming out really in their numbers. I've seen this ball is coming inside from Frederick, held on to there. Is it? Yes, it is.
John
Almost
Michael controlling. And the ball is being played out to Goodrich. He plays it back to Johanse Marshall. The guy I consider the best defender in the league, very composed.
I wonder why.
May have some favoritism there, but again, I think anyone that is drafted in the first round after university and then to move to LA Galaxy at a time when Beckham was there, there's no way, you know, you could take away how good he really is. He's very composed, and he's actually the guy that has kept Central defense
I was
intact.
just about to say that he did a very good job this season on holding a Central defense together.
And he has worked with 3 of Central's defenders, him alongside Jamal Jack, him alongside Akeem Benjamin, also Elton John. So he's the fixed man, and they're all moving around him. So you're seeing Daniel Cyrus calling. Ball is played to Jovan Jones. And he cuts it across, but
All right,
too far ahead.
To win this 500. I have 3 participants already. Just to give it 2 more. Come up to the VIP area. Must have some Lucozade with you to qualify.
So we're seeing
No referees.
that Central FC seems to be playing a 4-5-1 type football using Winchester and Marcano, and a very good shot by Winchester.
So him
Few
score
inches
from,
over the bar. Yes, he
from
has.
that angle more
He
than
has,
one
he
occasion. A bit surprising to many because a lot of times you don't attribute that type of quickness to taller athletes, but Winchester probably around 6'2", 6'3", and very light on his feet, very quick across the field.
He is indeed. You see Akeem getting the ball, playing it forward, and Marcano is gone. Would he reach it? Watch the bounce, and Cyrus is there to clean it up.
We're looking for qualifiers for the 500 at half time. Get your Lucozade and come up to the VIP.
Marcano with the throw.
White seats and you can qualify.
Willis Plaza receiving the ball, playing it off to Quintero, who has a shot, but it's blocked.
Another thing with these two teams is the fact that they're so deep. Connection with so many players on the list, off the list, around the team, on all over the place. You're just seeing quality players for W.Connection, and it's very much the same with Central FC. Quintero, a player who has started, he came off the bench. They also had a Talguero coming off the bench, and just to have those type of players coming off the bench and to bring that type of impetus late in games is going to be very valuable, because they're not just quality players, they're quality players who've been here before, they've done this before.
Because as you say, in quality, I think on W.Connection's bench right now, they have that young Dimitri Apai, who I think is a young player that has a bright future. You know, I heard he's on a long-term contract with W.Connection. So within the next season or two, I'm guaranteed he's going to have a starting spot. The young Surinamese attacking player.
A couple of games ago when he started, he scored a hat-trick, the only W.Connection player this season to do that.
So we have 5 participants for the Lucozade.
With Central FC, they have Sean De Silva is actually on their bench.
Indeed. He started a couple of games as well and looked very good when he started. And the thing that they have that type of quality coming off their bench. A lot of their bench players would be frontline starters on other teams in the Pro League.
You're right, you're correct. So I think both teams are, you know, they have invested heavily, and I think they deserved. And there's Johansson with the ball, and he cuts back in. A defender very high up. They've both very deserved of being in the finals today. Elton John getting the ball, making a mishap, but he plays it back up to Makano. Makano is looking. He opens, he's calling for someone in the middle, but plays the ball behind Winchester. And we're seeing Goodrich holding off Benjamin, and the referee calls for infringement. So the ball goes W.Connection's way. And there's the brother of Jovan Jones, Alvin Jones, taking it quickly, passing it off to his brother. He plays it to Russell, and Benjamin won the tackle there.
Both Benjamin and Jean-Michael Williams be familiar with so many of these players, this W.Connection team.
I think W.Connection saw that Benjamin had some trouble holding down Caesar some weeks ago. Caesar scoring 2 goals in that game against Central, passing both times on the left-hand side, getting past Benjamin. And there we see Winchester, and that is the speed.
And that's goal number 1 with the right foot.
Goal by Winchester. Goal for Central FC. Rondell Winchester.
Listen to the Central support here at the Atawolan Stadium.
Very, very, very good goal by Winchester.
Well, it made me eat my words. I said he may have to work a bit on his right foot, easily and effectively putting that one to the back of the net. Not even moving to his left or right. Sylvester in goal for Connection. And it's early going here. Winchester's on the board, so is Central FC.
He's very strong, he's very fast. He runs off the field, gets tackled, and yet still he holds off his mark and scores a goal. This referring to Bale's goal against Barcelona in the league. Because he held off his marker very strongly there. And still was composed to score.
You're talking so much about his speed and his strength there. He just displayed it on that occasion. Easily getting past Coach Frederick, who isn't a small man himself.
And who is not a very easy defender to get past. You know, he's a seasoned player and probably one of the best wing backs in the league right now. And there we see Jovan Jones is playing his skill. Very talented player.
Very good defense there.
And the ball is taken away.
I think Jovan has possibly the most dangerous left foot in the league.
He is.
When he uncorks that left foot, he can...
I think what I like to see is, especially when he takes all the pressure onto himself and decides to go past a few players. He's done it several occasions.
Indeed, and scored as well. Some of the better goals this season has been Jovan Jones weaving his way through defenders and finishing quite nicely. Just 15 minutes into this one, and W.Connection are down. Certainly a lot of time left in the game. It's interesting to see how they'll respond. Spent so much time speaking of Willis Plaza. He is yet to get himself going, and if that's the case and Central is already up 1-0, I think they'd take that any day of the week, because when Willis really gets going, it's going to be a handful for Connection.
It would, and Willis presently, he is the front runner for the leading goal scorer in the tournament. He has 2 goals, tied with about one other person, I think, from W.Connection, if I'm not mistaken, but he's ahead. So let's see who gets firing tonight, because a lot of money is up for grabs for the goal scorers. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's somewhere in the final. It's $2,000
Okay.
on the final. I think the semi-final was in the region of $1,000 a goal for the winning team. So Willis with 2 goals would be looking to score tonight to add to some fine winnings and money to his pocket, aside from the money that goes to the team. I think 30,000 is up for grabs tonight, sponsored courtesy Lucozade Sport.
I wasn't aware of the individual.
Yeah, there are individual accolades tonight, because this competition is based on goals. I think it's 4 goals, so
it's a good motivator for these players. Stuart Williams pushing upfield. He's met here by Dwight Quintero. Opting to go back here now, and Sylvester easily getting it off to Daniel Cyrus.
Yes, playing it to Cyrus. Oh, not.
As I saw the hand of
Terry. Yes, he
Fenwick
is.
there. Actually, I saw his hand before I heard his voice. This is very odd. It's not because so many people are here tonight, because I can assure you, even with the loudest crowd here at the Atabulan Stadium, Coach Terry Fenwick can be clearly heard.
Yes, that English accent is hard to miss.
Also the colorful.
He's making sure that he's seen today. So we're seeing a free kick about to be taken. Atulagera was calling for it, but I think his teammate did not see it. Always Johanse Marshall always gets up. I consider him one of the best headers. And he would get a head on it, and Johanse, very good chance. He reads plays extremely well when it comes to the free kicks. And there we see the ball back with Central, played in again.
And it's a header, be goal!
And it's a goal by the captain. The 38-year-old Marvin Oliver is again stepped up for his team.
The Sharks have just taken a bite out of W.Connection, a second goal in 4 minutes.
And what I must say is, I don't want to say we should get too carried away, because Central always seems to score 2 consecutive goals.
Indeed.
On W.Connection very early in the matches, but it's if they could hold off the pressure. You know, and each goal has a price to it, putting more money into their account. And we still haven't seen Quintero fire. We still haven't seen Plaza fire. There's even Atulagera, who puts in goals, and Makano.
I just about to say Makano as well.
And these are all players that in the league right now have 7 to 8 goals on their name. Makano, if I'm not mistaken, is on 8 presently. So I think W.Connection has to settle themselves. Alright, he's on 7 goals, Makano, correcting myself. And Quintero is on 11.
A real luxury to have Quintero, and we haven't spoken of Lesson Paul, who's coming off the bench tonight.
Exactly, again, another top-class player. Let's see. Some of them were former Jablete players, so you're talking about a rivalry from ever since. And it's a very good goal! What a goal! What a goal by Alvin Jones! A rocket that was an X, and I did tell you, Central usually scores 2 goals very quickly, but you have to be composed. W.Connection has the quality, and that has to be in the top 3 goals in Trinidad and Tobago football for this year.
W.Connection, scored by number 39.
Alvin Jones.
I was about to say, that his brother is known for the free kick taking, known for his left foot. And Alvin, yes, he's very good on the free kicks, but doesn't have the credibility, the credit as his brother. But here's Willis Plaza now.
Attacking the ball. And the ball stays on his foot, and he takes a shot. Not the strongest shot, but very much on target. I think what we saw there is, I think Jovian Jones is a bit more clinical. He curls the ball into the back of the net, but I think Alvin went for pure power there.
Getting it over the
very
wall.
Excellent. And I think what is motivating right now, the brothers are going to take control of this game, and I'm seeing it happening right now. They are starting the touch football, W.Connection, which they are known for.
Yes, it's something that Central has managed to take away from them in the start this one. Their
and
passing
I think
game.
They're getting more confident now. The build-up is coming. We're seeing Alvin taking a shot again. Not
coming
bad
with the
at
keeper's
all.
hand there.
Not bad at all. We see W.Connection just slowing down Central's pace, keeping them running. And Marvin Oliver intercepts, but it's lost again. And he gets it again. But it's lost again. Gerard Williams starting it. Alvin looking for his brother, but the play is read by Akeem Benjamin.
Seems Winchester and McCann will switch sides.
Would Jovian Jones start something here? He's going to attack his former teammate. The ball is played with a quick 1-2.
Offside.
Not a bad ball at all. Very good first touch by Stefano. As well as, was that Hashim?
Yes, it was Hashim Asia working.
Yes, very good one-touch players, indeed. So 40 minutes gone so far. Score still 2-1 in favor of Central FC.
All 3 goals were scored in the first 20 minutes. Ever since then, not really, I don't think any opportunities coming either way since the last goal was scored. Benjamin Jr. with good reach on him. Is Guerra pushing forward?
Guerra. And I think Quintero forgot he's playing with a whistle.
I know, but I say the same thing. You learn at a very, very young age in football that you play until you hear the whistle.
And we see W.Connection making an attack. Ball played to Jovian Jones again. Very fast, needing some support. Stefano is there. And we see
this could be opportunity. Very good goalkeeping there.
Very good play, but very good by Jean-Michael to read the play early.
It was the final of the Lucozade Cup, and we don't have, the fourth official doesn't have a board to state how many minutes of additional time will be played. Yes, so I think I just saw the fourth official, Cecile Hangs, walk over to the technical staff of W.Connection and Central to tell them how much minutes will be playing, as this ball inside here is knocked out by Akeem Benjamin.
Yes.
And a half.
Because I'm seeing some persons in the crowd that I know are some officials pointing it out.
Daniel Cyrus in the area there, possibly the tallest player for Connection. This ball sent inside, it's a bit strong.
But it's headed by Goodrich. And there's Winchester going. And Winchester is gone, but he plays it into the part of Jones, who falls very easily. And that brings to an end the first half.
So just 1 minute of additional time. At the end of the first half, W.Connection 1, Central FC 2. Norada, your thoughts?
I believe it's a fair score. I think Central FC came off running, so putting 2 goals past W.Connection easily gives them the driver's seat. However, W.Connection is a team that has been in a lot of finals. They've been here before on several occasions, and they calmly scored a goal to bring the advantage just in the space of 1 point. So we have a whole half left. It's either Central FC comes back out firing or W.Connection comes back out firing and takes the lead. But I think based on the depth on the bench, it's a bit worrying for W.Connection. I think Central FC has a bit more on their bench to change up the game than W.Connection. But let's see how the next 45 minutes go.
Welcome back, viewers, for second half action in this matchup between W.Connection and Central FC. Central FC, of course, leading after the first half. 2-1 goal scored by Rondell Winchester and Marvin Oliver in the 14th and the 18th. But in the 20th, W.Connection get themselves on the board. Scored by Alvin Jones on a magnificently taken free kick. Setting up this second half nicely, of course, is the Lucozade Cup final between these two teams, these two rivals, as many are considering them, not just players on the field, but the coaches as well. Stuart Charles Fevrier and Terry Fenwick considered to have a rivalry between them as well. Lucozade Gold Shield final here at the Atabolan Stadium, the home of these two teams. Two teams share Atabolan Stadium as their home venue, and you can tell by the mammoth crowd here, mammoth by Pro League standards that is, at the Atabolan Stadium. As the entire bench for Connection is getting up, a very experienced bench, very talented, very potent bench is at that. You see what changes they can make. Game started off rather furiously. Both teams having good exchanges. We saw good early goals going both ways, but the final 20 minutes or so of the first half, we saw the game fizzle out a bit. Here's Neil Benjamin Jr. He didn't have a particularly good first half, but his speed on display here, getting past Yancy Marshall. Oh, but he messed up. He messed up a beautiful opportunity there with some poor footwork and still winning the corner for his team, however. He had it on an open lane to the goal with John Michael Williams, probably a bit indecisive. As the corner is coming in, headed on there, oh, just over bar. Daniel Cyrus flying in, sweeping in and heading that one, not being able to get on top of it, but using every bit of his height there, displaying magnificent leaping ability, but just not being able to get on top of that one. An early opportunity there for Connection goes to Beggin. I think that's exactly what they want, however. Early opportunities, early shots at John Michael Williams, who really hasn't had much to do in this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a safety announcement. Kindly clear the rails and the aisles and find a seat in the stands. I ain't calling no name. I know all here. kindly find a seat in the stands. I ain't calling no name. I know all here.
Referee blowing the whistle there to attend to a player down. That seems like it's Keon Goodridge. Yes, it is. Not very often we come to a W.Connection game and not hear David John Williams, but he's sitting on the other side. He's not just the owner, he's also their biggest supporter and the referee's biggest critic. Lucozade Cup, Lucozade Shield final here on a Friday. They're really bringing out a nice crowd, I must say, for football. It's good to see. Something that we wish we could see more often. And here's shot coming in. Oh, it's going to be out of touch there, coming off the defender. Can't quite make out who took that shot. It was Atalaguara. Ball inside the goal. Oh my God, how could you miss from there? It seems almost impossible to miss from right in front of the goal. But good defensive work there by Alvin Jones. He scored one now. He saved a certain goal. That was great defensive work there. I think everyone here already thought 3-1 Central FC. Getting in front of Rondell Winchester. Winchester giving him a 5. Good sportsmanship there between these two teams. Not very often you give a player a 5 after he denies you a goal and a chance at a couple $1,000. This one is going up in the air. It's going to be headed away. Talaguera losing that one. Here's Stefano Rissel. Rissel trying to push upfield, passing. Akeem Benjamin is in. No, he's looking for an overlapping Daniel Cyrus. Not very often you hear that. Cyrus deep into the area, but it's easily knocked away there by John Michael Williams. Marvin Oliver trying to make a nice little run here. So it's a hallmark of Central FC's attacking play. They're very nicely sent inside. As is Sylvester coming in there, but it was nicely swung inside, almost asking the question of the defense. Alvin Jones almost closing his eyes there as he's working it around here. Central FC. Jans Marshall is looking upfield for Rondell Winchester, met by Alvin Jones. Jones knocking it off nicely there. Good work to get it here now to Joven. Joven, he has options wide. He's going wide. Stefano Rissel here. Akeem Benjamin on him. What will Rissel do? Also trying to cut it back a bit. He's going to be crossing inside, or he's looking to.
Ladies and gentlemen,
getting
the
it
people
back
of
now.
Lucozade and the Pro League has asked for a fan count. So now we like to hear the supporters. We like to hear the W.Connection crew. The kind of thing. We like to hear the Central FC crew.
This could be an opportunity here. Look at speed on this play this time. Good work really pulling out a bit of speed there. Here's Jovan Jones. Back with Rissell. Rissell with a man inside and Hashimasi looking inside there. It's taken away, however, by Central. Back with W.Connection. Neil Benjamin, you make up your mind, young man. Taking a bit too long to take a shot there. It's a foul here on Alvin Jones, and reaching into his pocket for the first card against W.Connection here is referee Neil Brizan. Coming out, Dwight Quintero, their third leading scorer.
Central FC number 6, Leston Paul. He places number 9, Dwight Quintero. Substitution.
And actually, Leslie Joel Russell coming off the field, and Jamal Clarence on in his place.
Taking the field for Direct TV.
That one is cleared out there by
number 17,
Marvin Oliver.
He places number 20, Stefano Rizal. Substitution. W.
So it's Leslie Joel Russell, Stefano Rizal.
And in number 17, Jamal Clarence.
And the second yellow card of the game on W.Connection is it's number 2 apiece. Pushing outfield here, attempting to do so is Jovan Jones coming on very quickly is Rondell Winchester, and another yellow card, this time on Winchester for infringing from behind. It's 5. Center field there by Jamal Williams as John Michael is calling for it. Flying in there is Hashim Asia displaying his athleticism. Send the other way. This one will be held on to now by goalkeeper. Some 18 minutes left in regulation. 73rd minute now. And that's a poor pass there, as it's going to be Alvin Jones getting onto it. I thought it may have been a bit too strong. Daniel Cyrus. Connection, a team who likes to stay in possession, but in that staying in possession, like to keep the ball moving. Really haven't been able to get the ball moving much upfield in the second half here. The free kick will be taken shortly. Kurt Frederick may be the one taking that one. Frederick looking out wide here is going to be cleared away there by Marvin Oliver. Rondell Winchester trying to get it on to Willis Plaza, but Frederick intercepting as he's met by 2. Having to get it back there to Williams as it's upfield now the other way towards Neil Benjamin Jr. Akeem Benjamin is there and it's going to be out of touch. Central ball. 75 minutes of football has been played. Still 2-1 in favor of Central FC. All 3 goals coming in the first half. Second half, which has been a lot quieter than the first. No team really having any real opportunities on goal. Has to be very careful at Aguero in case he doesn't pick up a yellow card there. Here's Jovan Jones on the free kick. His brother scored a magnificent free kick in the first half. This isn't necessarily scoring distance as it's looped inside there. Headed away by Elton John. Sent back inside by Neil Benjamin Jr. as it's headed down there. Frederick looking wide to Alvin Jones. Alvin Jones' uniform looking actually brown as this one is looking upfield, but it's going to be held on to there by John Michael Williams. Here's Willis Plaza. Gerard Williams is on him. Willis Plaza, anytime he gets space, he's giving it back here to Makanu. Comes out to Guerra. Alvin Jones getting inside, and it's going to be offside. Willis Plaza, poor goal kick there. Plaza a bit indecisive. Handing it off here to Keon Goodridge. Goodridge looking inside for Winchester. Oh, maybe a bit of misjudgment there on the part of Winchester, but here's Makano now. Benjamin trying to get it back inside as Ashamasi. He's in the way of this one. He's trying to push up field. Leston Paul is there. So is Marvin Oliver. Still fighting for it as Arcia. And a foul being called there. It seems to be on Hashim. So it's going to be a free kick opportunity now for Central FC. Certain Jason McConnell will be standing over it. Marvin Oliver is holding on to the football. Makano is also there. As a substitution will be made, a final substitution of the game for Connection. Devon Elliott will be coming onto the field, and he'll be replacing Neil Benjamin Jr. So in is the Elliott, out is Benjamin Jr. 9 minutes of football left in regulation. Don't really expect to see much additional time in this one.
Number 13, Devon Elliott. Replaces number 465, Neil Benjamin Jr.
A bit tricky here on the free kick as it's going to be held on to by Sylvester. Here's Elliott immediately getting a touch onto the ball. Jamal Clarence. Alvin Jones. Hashimasi looking here with Jovan Jones. Back with Alvin. Getting the ball moving is Connection. When they're really dangerous is when they get it moving upfield. Not seeing much of that tonight. Cyrus. Here's Jamal Clarence. Clarence back with Silvio Span. Span wide to Kurt Frederick. Can one of these Connection players put them into a position where we can see kicks from the penalty spot? So they're losing it here. Quite certain Central FC would like to put a nail in the coffin, as that little backheel there from Jamal Clarence resulting in him being infringed on a card here on Elton John. That's the 7th card of the game. 4 on Central, 3 on W.Connection, and it's a free kick in a very, very good position. Alvin Jones, Jovan Jones, either one of them very dangerous from here. Can this be the equalizer? We saw Connection score in the 20th on a boomer from Alvin Jones. I'm sure he'll be lining this one up once more. Joven may be at his side, but this is possibly their best opportunity of the second half. Connection, believe it or not. They really haven't had many advances into the Central FC half. John Michael Williams hasn't been tested all game long. Aside from that free kick that came in, found the back of the net. Not many shots have come the way for W.Connection. Alvin Jones is lining it up. There with him is Joven. Also, Silvio Span is there. Silvio Span, a bit of a magician on free kicks back in his day. Alvin Jones. Not a very long run, so he may not be going for power, but rather accuracy. Shot coming in. It's good. Oh, very good save by John Michael Williams. Very, very good save. Another beautifully taken free kick. But John Michael Williams showing his worth, showing his value to this team. Left-handed, outstretched, punching it out. That could be a game saver. There's Joven now on the free kick, on the corner, sorry. Coming in, headed down. It's going to be just wide of the goal. As a foul was called, however, on Cyrus for pushing off. Testy football here at the Atterbolden. Time going down, 5.5 minutes left in regulation. Can Central hold Connection off, or will Connection push this one into kicks from the penalty spot? And not being able to control that one as a substitute, Devon Elliott. Now is not the time to be making costly mistakes for either team, that is. That's Alogara. He'll be quite content in staying in possession, and he'll be losing that possession here, but it's going to be a corner kick. No rush will be Jason McConnell to take this corner. Neither are we seeing Marvin Oliver or Johansi Marshall coming up from the back. Short corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask you to stay in your seats for the post-match presentation ceremony coming up immediately following the final whistle. Kindly stay in your seats for the post-match presentation ceremony.
Here's Willis Plaza. Willis waiting to get a chance to turn and shoot as it's coming off for the body of a defender. Out of touch here for another corner. Very content, very happy with this. Will be Central FC. Time being taken off the clock while they're taking corners. Jason McConnell, Willis Plaza again will be working on the short corner. Plaza trying to screen his man off. Clearly hearing the voice of Terry Fenwick, that strong British accent. Plaza spitting too, trying to get inside, showing off his cheekiness. Oh, very good save, follow-up opportunity, very good save again there by Sylvester. Another opportunity, 3 shots in a row for Central FC. Willis Plaza making all that happen. Is really his first time he's playing his immense skill. Right now, Connection should be pushing numbers upfield. He didn't do that just there. Maybe a bit wary of that, and no, this is an opportunity. Willis Plaza offside. That was touch or go. That was touch or go. As the referee will be having a word with Alvin Jones. Quickly taken free kick here. Good defensive work in getting Plaza into that offside position. It's dangerous at that, as Joven Jones is fighting for position here. Good work there by Keon Goodridge. Here's Rondell Winchester now. Less than 2 minutes of regulation left. Let's see what the fourth official will be saying as to the additional time to be played. Rondell Winchester working with Jason McConnell. Central look dangerous. They look as if they can score in this final Few minutes here to be played. That is knocked out. Central ball. Corner kick here now. The final minutes of regulation. If Connection are able to score here, it's going to be an additional time. It's going to be a miraculous comeback, but as it stands right now, Central FC just need to take care of the football, stay in control of the football, and they'll be crowned the 2014 Lucozade Gold Shield champions. Ball inside, crossing is going to be looping. Headed back there by Kurt Frederick as he's now going to be pushing upfield. Connection, entire team should be pushing upfield. Not seeming as if they are down a goal to nil with just additional time left. W.Connection really not a goal to nil, but down by a goal. Sorry. Lots of tired legs, it seems. Devon Elliott trying to get it there, working with Jamal Clarence, who fouls less than Paul. Final whistle any moment now. As the entire 90 has been played. And the vast majority of the supporters here tonight are from Central FC, that is. And the ever so diving Jason Macano, famous for his dives. Esguerra, he's been uncorking one. It's going to be wide of the goal. Thing in truth and in fact, Central has had the better game as Jason Macano is holding his ankle now. He's up limping. We had someone in the press here a couple weeks ago that the award for Best Actor in the Pro League should go to Macano. Looking wide here for Devon Elliott. Can he make a difference? He's fighting there, but Oliver getting in the way of that one. Leslie Joe Russell infringing less than Paul. Seems that every time a Central player goes down, it's less than Paul being fouled, sorry, because Jason Macano, he's going down as a result of the wind. Jason Macano will now be replaced by Keon Trim, but he's taking his merry time to come off the field as he's being aided by Coach Neil Brizan. Not coach, it's even if he's coaching, referee Neil Brizan. Referee Brizan looking at his watch, quite certain that he'll be blowing his whistle anytime soon. Central FC has played the game as it's the 8th yellow card of the game. 5 on Central now. Being booked there for time wasting is John Michael Williams. He's not too worried about that, however, as Neil Brizan is looking at his watch again. Headed up there. Connection, this is going to be the last opportunity of the game. One figures. Cyrus looking for, not being able to get onto that is Asha Marcia, and that is the final whistle as the 2014 Lucozade Gold Shield champions, Central FC. Central FC, your deserving champions. Really outplayed Connection here tonight. from start to finish. They really had superior first and second halves. Not being able to score in the second, but still being able to keep W.Connection at bay. And at the end of 90 plus, they're being crowned the Lucozade Shield champions. Their second title of the season already. And I must say, a really impressive performance. Their supporters are dancing in the aisles. Immediately getting ready for the post-match presentation ceremony. Central FC winners here in this one, but when you look at the players on paper, it's very hard.
Day 14, top coach, Terry Fennick.
The roti of happiness.
And now we have the Golden Boot Award for most goals. It was a tight race. As a matter of fact, we have a four-way tie. I think we have 3 of the recipients here tonight. So we ask them all to come forward. With 2 goals each, we have Rondell Winchester, Willis Plaza, and Hashim Asia. We also have Karen Cummings sharing in this most goal prize. Hashim getting the... Ladies and gentlemen, most goals, Hashim Asia, Willis Plaza, Rondell Winchester, along with Karen Cummings. The final of the special prizes here tonight is the most valuable. And you know what that is? The most valuable player for the Lucozade Sport Gold Shield 2014. No, it's not you, Harrison. No, it's not Harrison. No. The most valuable player from Central FC, number 17, Rondell Winchester, MVP. We now like to call on the Central crew to receive their gold medals from Richard Clark and Mr. Dexter Skeen. Yeah. Round of applause for Central FC, led by their captain, number 10, the Big Dread, Marvin Oliver, taking the Lucozade Sport Gold Shield 2014.
There's a child. grandchildren. Oh, Mario.
All right, people. We were checking the tally for the goals, and we also have a 5th goal scorer tying at number 2. With 2 goals, and now receiving his gold medal, the captain of Central FC, the Big Thread, Marvin Oliver. And now we'll have the trophy presentation. Mr. Richard Clark of Lucozade and Ribena, and Mr. Dexter Skeen.
What is that, Miranda? No.
Let's have a round of applause for the champions, ladies and gentlemen.